So last session, what we did, tap, retry, and map, correct? Fine. So now, multiple API call we are going to see. Let's say in a particular component on the page load, you want to do 3 or 4 API call. Okay, and you don't want to load the UI unless all API call response you have got. Okay, first scenario is like in a particular component you want to make 4 or 5 API call, or even 2 also, and unless we get the response of both of these API call, you don't want your UI to be loading. You can show loader or something. Okay, so how do we do that without using RxJS operator? How we can do that? Everyone got my question or no, guys? Am I audible properly? I'm not using a headphone today. Let me know. Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir, we can hear you. No problem.
See what I said. In this, let's say in this employee component, I need to make 2 API call on the page load. And unless I get the response of both the API call, I need to show the loader. Once I get the response of both the API call, then I need to hide that loader. Then I will load my UI. How do we do that without using any RxJS operator? It's a logic I'm asking. How you will do it?
Simple variable we can use to
Right? You will create 2 variable. In one
Hmm.
subscribe, you will make one variable true, and another subscribe, you will make another variable true. Correct? Understood? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, you will have 2 subscribe now. In one sub, you will create 2 variable. Let's say is API1 data received and is API1 API2 data received. 2 variable you have created. And in subscribe of both the API call, you will make both the variable true. And in the HTML, you will use both the variable in the loader. If both the variable are true, then only if both the variable are
Database.
false, you will remove the loader or you will show the loader. Okay. But that is just a custom way. Means we can say jugadips, but we cannot go with the jugad, right? So in RxJS, we have ForkJoin, means multiple observable data we can get in a single subscribe. Okay, so that's what we are going to see now. Let's say in load user, what we are doing. Okay, load user is empty. Let's say we have this get user API, then get dropdown and get all requests. So 3 API call are there. What I need to do, unless all 3 API call, means I need to run all these API call parallelly, and I should get one subscribe hitted when all the API call response I have received. Okay. So for that, what we will do, we will create 3 observables. Okay. Let's say, sir, or instead of doing it over here I will write constant user data is equal to. Now in this user data, what I will store, this thing up till over here. Now in user data, what type of data I'm going to store? I have written like this. So what type of data I will be storing in user data? What will be the data type of user data? This.
Object.
No.
Nahi.
Get user function.
It
What
should
it is
be
written in? Observable. See na? So what will be the data type of this? Observable only na?
observable.
Okay.
Okay.
You have created an observable. Then constant. What's the second one? User drop data. Here I will store this second thing. Okay. Third one. Constant. The third one. All request. It's equal to the third API call. This. Okay. So what I did, I have created 3 observable, means whatever the response I'm supposed to get from this function, that I'm storing it over here. Now I can create an array of this. Okay, so by using ForkJoin, square bracket, this is first observable, comma, second observable, comma, third observable. Okay, then I can have a single subscribe call. Okay, let me add a debugger. So whenever once this all API call get the data from the API, then our subscribe will execute. Okay, let's see now. Having debugger over here also. I think if any of the API fail now, we won't get the response. Right. Okay. So 3 observables I have created. Now this 3 observable I am passing to my ForkJoin. Continue. Okay, so we added this debugger in the service. I think one API is getting failed. Okay, so get on request API is getting failed. So see, we made 3 API call in this. Okay, but this API call, I think the port is something else or API is breaking. So if any of the observable is not returning success, your debugger subscribe won't execute. Got it? Because this was getting failed. See, in the console, we are getting error for get all request. So this got failed. So our subscribe didn't execute it. Okay, so let's remove it for now. Now I'm just passing 2 observable. Let's remove all the debugger from over here. Okay, continue. So see, both API calls are success. So now in result, you can see we got 2 objects, 2 arrays. First one will be the first API call, mean user data, whatever the sequence you are passing. So in result, first response will be the actual data what you are passing. See all the user object. And second was for that, second one when we formatted that data. See, got it? So to ForkJoin, you can pass multiple observable. Okay, if you are not able to understand observable, just consider API call. Okay, so you will pass multiple API call like this, and in subscribe you will get once all the API call return the data successfully, then your subscribe will execute, and in result you will get sequence of the data as the sequence you are passing over here. So result of 1, you will get first data of user data, result of 2, second response. Understood? Clear all?
Yes.
This is how we group multiple API call, and we will wait if until all API call response we have received successfully. If any of the API call get broke, okay, our subscribe won't execute. Understood? The only disadvantage is if any of the requests get failed, our subscribe won't execute. Clear? Now this kind of scenario where you will use
Where we are calling 2, 3 APIs in one page.
dashboard component.
Dashboard, huh?
Dashboard component, we make multiple API call. Okay. Everyone clear? Only Supriya is talking.
I have one question. Like here we have created the variable and where we are storing the APIs call, like this dot master or get users.
Correct.
So we can directly pass the function also, right, in ForkJoin.
See, instead of if you are storing this onto variable and you are passing variable, or you can directly store this over here also. One and the same thing.
No, I was saying like in ForkJoin, we just pass the observables.
Which observable?
Generic one, and then we subscribe all the functions.
Yeah, same thing, no?
We can do like as well.
Yeah. In this function also you have that API call, no? Either you put service or you write it over here. One and the same. What it
Okay.
needs? Observable kind of data.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Remaining, Swapnil, Rushali, clear? Yutti?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Now we will check one more scenario. ForkJoin is done. Which is there. Concat map. Let's see. So Concat map. Okay. Just understand the scenario. If you understand the scenario, then only you will be able to understand the topic. So we have this one API which is going to get all the data of the user. Okay. Then we have one more API /1. So this API will get us the particular whatever the user ID you pass, it will get the data of this. Okay. So you have one API which is going to get all the users, and we have one more API which is going to get particular user data. Now my scenario is on the page load, I will make this API call, and whatever the first record I get in this array, I need to call one more API to get the first record data. I mean, this API call I need to call. On the page load, I need to make first API call to this user. From here, I will get all the users. And whatever the first user is there, I need to initiate, once I get the data from this, I need to initiate one more API call, which will give us the single detail of the object. Without using RXJS operator, how we can do this?
Something of edit kind of thing.
No, but in edit, we just make one API call, no? Not what we are trying to do in one API call subscribe, we are going to do another API call subscribe. Whatever the result we got from first subscribe, that we are going to pass as an input to another API call. This is not edit, no? Edit is this API only.
Okay.
Correct?
Same as that. Yes, sir. Only one.
Anyone like to try it?
Mm.
Sheesh?
Then we can, I
Once we
think, use
get
the directory object key something to
Instead
get the
of using
configuration data.
RxJS, how you will do it?
Okay, without RSJX.
In subscribe of first API call, you will call another API call, no?
Another API, yes.
That's it. This is first API call subscribe. Inside this again, you will have another API call of subscribe. Here you will pass the result.id, result of array of ID something, right? Nested API call. This is what we call. Correct? But this is again Jugaad. Okay. So to do this effectively, we have Concat map. Okay. First one was ForkJoin, where we can join multiple observable. Now it is Concat map, where if one observable data we got, after that we need to trigger another observable. Clear? Now, quickly create API call get this on users. Let's see, these are advanced topic. If not now, someday you are going to use it. In every industrial project, we use all this concept, whatever I'm explaining, okay? Even though for interview also, these are very important. So make sure you are just practicing it also. If you are having any doubt, let me know. I can again connect and again explain. But don't keep your doubt with yourself, okay? So this is the first API call. Second API call to get particular user ID. Get JSON user by ID. And here we will have the parameter, and that parameter we will pass over here in the URL plus ID. Okay. So my two API call functions are ready. Now, just a minute. So this dot master service dot get JSON user, first API call, which will get us all the users. So dot subscribe. We got the data. We will find the subscribe or not. Try 5. Once it is performed the operation, then we need to execute. Let's try 5. And then inside that concat map. But no, how we will get the insert colon any. Get the data. Then here we need to make another API call. So this dot master service dot get JSON user by ID, and here we need to pass the parameter. So in result we will get all the array. So from that 0 dot ID, we are getting ID only. Yeah, ID only. Okay. Then we will have finally our subscribe call. Subscribe round bracket reason getting error. Any subscription is not assignable to type of observable input type any. Here we will get, we have added 5. After that, concat map. Result. And once we get the result, we are going to trigger another API call. To complete it, we need to complete this from bracket, curly bracket. Round bracket is of this, then another round bracket. Here it is saying result is of type unknown. Set the data type. One more. Now we have this pipe, right? So we need to complete this pipe also. Or round bracket. Yeah. Okay. No unnecessary. Fine. So see now. So this dot master dot get JSON user. So this once this API call once we get the API call is success, we will get the response over here in the result. Okay. Then once we get the data, it's like subscribe. Okay. This thing whatever we have written, na pipe and concat. This is like subscribe of this. Okay. And once we get the data, then we are initiating one more API call to get the data. But what we are using, whatever the response we get from that first element we are selecting and the ID. Okay. Now here we will add the debug. Let's save and check. Okay. So API call we are making, continue. See, in the result, we will get a single object of ID because in result, this result we got array of object, and from that first element we are passing. So here we got response of get JSON user by ID. So this is one API call inside another API call. Concat map, what we call it as a nested API call also. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Everyone clear?
Yes.
Sir, here a very small thing, like always we should pass some parameter to identify from the first
This is
object.
scenario based now. So if your requirement is like one API call is there, from API call whatever the response you are getting, and from that response some field you are passing to another API call, then only you will use this. Correct?
Yes, sir.
If there is no requirement, why you will use concat map? Because
Okay.
right, this whatever the
Yes,
data
sir.
you get from over here, that you are passing to another API call. Okay.
Yes, sir. And we will also not know it is completely scenario based, and we'll not know is it like the first element or the second element we want.
This I have done it just for our testing. In actual
Understood.
project,
Yes, sir.
let's say we have an employee object. Okay. And once we open the employee detail, first we will make the API call get employee by ID. And in that employee, once we get the employee data, then we have to trigger multiple API call with that employee ID.
Oh, okay.
Got it? But
Yes,
just
sir.
for a scenario, I have taken first element.
Okay, sir. Got your points.
Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
I have done this, but not the this one nested API I have used. Like I am calling one API to get the list of the elements,
After that, another.
and then I am calling one status list to show the status of that item.
Inside subscribe of another, no?
Yeah, subscribe of another.
So instead of
And
that,
once
we can do this.
yeah, this one is I mean smart,
Yeah.
advanced one.
If you are
Because
using,
I'm using if else, like if this,
Yeah,
if this, then.
I was also used to do that when I was new. Then I get to know this.
Sir, what are
Yeah.
real world scenarios where this is
I told
generated?
you, no? Let's say you have an employee object. Okay,
Yeah.
on click of edit, you are making API call get employee by ID. You get
Yeah.
the employee data. Once you get the data, after that you need to make another API call by using that ID.
Mhm.
Okay, so get employee by ID over here and then another API call, because whatever the response you get, that you are passing as a parameter to another API. Clear?
Yes.
Now, one thing is there, ShareRply. Okay, so ShareRply means, let's say, in every component, you are making one API call again and again. Or in the same component, you are making one API call after some function again and again with same parameter or something. Even if you are hitting same data, you are going to get. It's the data, whatever the API call, let's say JSON user, data is not going to change in a particular 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so unnecessary we are making the API call. So to avoid this, we have ShareRply something. So it will catch the response. Let's say on the page that you make one API call. Okay, after some time again you are making the API call. So second time, if you are using the ShareRply, it won't make the API call. It will return the result from its cache memory. So you are reducing one extra API call. ShareRply, catching the response. Okay, show you that. So in service, what I will do, I will create an observable to store the data we get from the user. Okay, so do we need a share also? We already have this function get user. So this function, okay. No, we need to store it into a variable. Okay, let me create an observable. So user list. I'm just creating an observable. Observable. Okay, I have just created an observable data. Now, just like this function, now I'm creating. Just like this, I'm creating one more function. Get all JSON users. Okay. Now we will modify this function. This function is very simple. We are making the API call, whatever the data we get, that we are returning. Now, if we have to use ShareRply, we need to, whatever the response we get, that we need to store it also somewhere. So that's why we have created a observable like this. Okay. So now inside this, we will add a pipe operator. Directly return this. So API call is there, then dot pipe. Inside that, ShareRply, and we can pass a value, buffer size, like how many time you want to store it. So we will go with 1. Okay. Then the whole thing we will store into our that user list observable. Okay. Why it is giving error? It is seeing more of that. Here on ShareRply, it is giving error. Object is missing in the following properties. Because here we specified the array. Okay. Again, here also we need to specify the proper data type. Okay. So we created observable, and over here in the function we are storing whatever the data we get in this observable, and from this function we will return this dot user. Okay. So normally what we do, whatever the data we get from this API call, we would directly return. But now, if we have to use the ShareRply, we have to store the data inside an observable. Okay, and that observable we are return. Now, on the page load, just comment everything. So first, this dot master service dot get JSON users, get all JSON users. This function I'm calling. Okay, subscribe. Okay, first API call I have done. Then here also in get user list, get all JSON user. Here also I'm making the same function, and this function I will call after, let's say, 5 seconds or something. Time out. 5 seconds. This one I'm calling it over here. Okay, so see what we did. So we have a function get all user. In this, we are making an API call, but directly we are not returning the response of the API call. We are storing the response into an observable, and that observable we are returning. Okay. Now on in the component on the page load, we are making this API call. Okay. And after set timeout, again we are calling this function. In this function also, again we are using the we are making the same function. Okay. Now see. Continue. So see, first API call we got, continue. Then after 5 seconds, this function will execute. Didn't add the table. Let's try again. Continue. API call we got. Then after 5 seconds, this function will execute. Okay, directly we got the response. And if you see in the network, this is why we are getting to. Let's remove the debugger. Let's wait for 5 minutes. Loaded the same component. Let's redirect. The API call is there. Why we are getting oh my God. Sorry. Okay. We are making API call to the function. So every time that function should get the data from our observable, which we created. So because here we didn't add any check if data is already now there or not. Let's add a check. If this is, we say like this observable doesn't have any data like that, then only we will trigger this. Okay. If this doesn't have any data, then only we will make this API call. Otherwise, we will directly return the data. Okay, let's try. Now we should see only one API call. API call. Enable the debugger now. Reload. First API call we got, then 5 seconds. Second API call also, data also we got. But in the network, you can see only one API call is there. Okay. Now here we said 1. Let's try after this set timeout, or let's add one more set timeout again. Here, let's say 10,000 seconds, 10 seconds. And again, we will call this one. Start. First API call response we got. Then 5.1 it is doing. Okay, continue. Still we are getting the, what's the user of passing this one? ShareRply, buffer size. Buffer size. Okay, I don't know like why, what's the use of this, but you understood. So in the component, if you are making one API call again and again at the same time, so you can catch that response by using this ShareRply. So you're storing the data into an observable, and next time you have that data in your observable already. So instead of making the API call, you will directly return the response. Understood this? Was it complicated? It's like catching the data in service. So next time, if you are making the API call, instead of making the real API call, you have the data already over here in this observable. So it won't make the API call. It will directly return the response. Understood? This is what catching.
Sir,
Nice.
but where we will
Yeah.
put this generally?
See, let's say you have a table, and above table you have a search box. Okay.
Yeah.
You search with A and D. You got the result. After 2 or 3 seconds, again you search with A and D. So you are hitting the same URL with the same query parameter. So you are supposed to get the same response now. So unnecessary you will be making API call. If URL is same, your parameter is also same. Why you are again making the API call now? Right?
Yeah.
But we have our code like that. Again, we have distinct until change also operators are there to what do we say, to avoid that. But in service, we use the ShareRply also and distinct until also. If parameter is not changed, we will trigger. We won't from your component. You won't trigger API that observable to your function also with that distinct until change also. But ShareRply we use to catch the response. Whatever the data we get from this API, we are catching it into this observable. And wherever we need it, we are using the catch data instead of making the API call. Clear?
Sir, is there any difference between like once we make a API call, normally we store it in a variable, right? That variable also we can use it.
Let's say
What
in
is-
employee component, you are making the API call. You stored it over here. You redirect to some other component, and in that component also you need the data. Then that's why we are storing that response into the service. So let's say you landed on the employee component, you make this API call. This function got executed. You got the response, and that response got stored over here. Okay. You navigated to some another component, and there also you need the JSON user. So again, it will check if data is there. It will send the data stored from this observable. It won't make the API call. Understood? Just for
Yes.
explaining, I have done the same thing in the same component. But in actual scenario, we will need the data from this API call in multiple component also, right? So to avoid making a multiple API call, we will store that in the observable using that data from there, from catch memory. Okay.
Yes.
Then we need to, update also, right? When we do some modification.
So that I thought like this was one for that. This is not means, let's say first time I got the data, and again if I make the API call, because we said ShareRply 1, so I thought like after second time we get the data, it will remove, but it is not removing. I will also check. Like I thought like ShareRply 1 or 2 we used to pass, but buffer size means I don't know. I will check what's that, because obviously every time if we are making the same API call, so it should not
Yes.
get the new data. Okay. Fine, guys. So, what else was the remaining? Anyone remember anything? The RXJS operator again. See, map is the majorly used. ForkJoin and the Concat join. Map and tap also. Multiple times you will use map. Okay. Anything? Okay. So
Sir, when we will have project session, fees collection project session.
okay, yeah, that I forgot. Till what we completed?
Uh,
What?
batch list is
Batch creation was done, na?
no, it is remaining.
Was remaining. Subre, who was supposed to post the code? Rahul, na?
Rahul.
Yeah, hi Chetan.
Rahul, can you push the code?
Yeah, complete. I have a doubt is there. That's why I have to check with you.
Use this meeting. You can share the screen. Supriya can help you out. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm just leaving. So you guys can continue. Rahul, just share your screen.
Yeah, okay.
Get it out. I'm making you host. Don't leave. Otherwise, it will stop.
Yeah, okay.
Fine. Bye, God.
Thank
So I will
you.
share the recording.